Mehul drags the member of Jaikal army to Dr. Sanjana's lab and starts questioning him about Jaikal's whereabouts. But the man doesn't utter a word. Suddenly, scientist Bulbulaya turns to Mehul.
Mehul, I have a pill in my lab which will make him blurt out the entire truth.
Just then Dr. Sanjana exclaims with joy and announces that the antidote was ready.
Interesting. Very, very interesting. We can save the city now.
Soon, Mehul and the scientist walked towards a house nearby. Everyone inside was in deep sleep because of the green gas. Can you guess, on which one of these people will the scientist test the antidote first? A, B, C, or D? The scientist will experiment on the old man first, because all other members are comparatively young and hence fit. This means they will also be less prone to the chemical gases' side effects. Old people tend to have less stamina, thus, the vaccine might work even faster. You might have noticed how COVID vaccinations were begun with the 60-plus age groups, in some parts of the world like India. The scientist carefully administers the vaccine and the old man regains consciousness within a few minutes.
Where am I? What is happening? Why are my sons sleeping during the day? They should be at the office.
Sir, all of you had fainted, but don't worry, we will take care of your whole family.
Then, Mehul and Bulbulaya head back to Dr. Sanjana's lab. It was locked using a mathematical password. Can you guess which number will replace the question mark? In the first equation, 2 squared is 4, minus 1 gives us 3. In the second one, 5 squared is 25, minus 2 gives us 23. Similarly, for squared is 16, minus 5 gives us 11. Hence, the code is 11. Mehul enters the correct password and both of them walk inside.
Congratulations, Doctor. We can officially announce that the antidote works.
Dr. Sanjana tells Mehul that using Jaikal's DNA, they were able to make only one antidote. To save the entire city, they will need at least 100 milliliters of his blood.
Interesting. This means I'll have to procure his blood. Only then we'll be able to save the city.
Sir, this is a piece of cake for us. We will go to his den, render him unconscious, and extract the blood. Simple.
Alia, this is not the time to joke around. How will we reach Jaikal so easily?
Do you have an idea through which Mehul can easily reach Jaikal's den? Some time ago, the scientist mentioned a pill which forces out the truth out of people post-consumption. Mehul can use it on the Jaikal army member and find out the den's exact location. He can also wear the man's Jaikal army t-shirt to blend in. Mehul then instructs Alia to stay with Dr. Sanjana and calls the entire Mehul army for the lab's protection. He then hops in the car with the scientist and leaves for his lab. He was speeding towards the lab as they couldn't afford to waste any more time. The scientist had built a maze to reach his lab. Which one of these routes open to the lab? A, B, or C? Can you guess? Think properly and let me know your answer in the comments below. Route A opens to the lab, somewhat like this. They pick the correct road and reach the lab successfully. The scientist opens the door using his fingerprints and they enter the lab. Everything was all over the place and messed up.
The Jaikal army must have broken in.
The scientist opens a safe and procures the pills. They walk outside the lab and sit in the car. Suddenly, Mehul realizes that someone was around them. But why did he think so? Can you guess? Notice the puddle on the floor. Someone's reflection is clearly visible in it. There is someone hiding on the tree above it.
Jaikal's army must have been waiting for us. It is possible that he is not alone, but with numerous gang members.
Mehul looks around carefully and was convinced that they were surrounded by more people. But why? Can you guess? Out of all the trees in the vicinity, only few are moving. This might not be because of the wind, but because other members of the Jaikal army are hiding in them. Mehul hands his revolver to the scientist and asks him to be alert. He then pulls out a number of biscuit bombs and throws them below the trees. Suddenly, the Jaikal army starts firing on their car from the trees. Since Mehul's car was bulletproof, they were completely safe. He then presses a red button in his car. Suddenly, a huge pistol appears from within the front bonnet, which starts firing bullets at rapid speeds. Mehul starts turning his car in the direction of the Jaikal army. One by one all of them start falling to the ground. The ones who did not get hit by the bullets jump down to save themselves but end up stepping on the biscuit bombs. Soon, the firing stops and Mehul steps out of the car. Just then, a member of the Jaikal army starts sneaking in towards Mehul from behind. He also had a revolver on him. Scientist Bulbulaya notices this and shoots him on the spot. Then, they quickly reach Dr. Sanjana's lab with the pills. They mix the pill with water and the man gulps it down. Slowly but surely, the pill shows its effects and the man starts getting intoxicated.
Mehul, the medicine is working. Start asking him questions before it wears out.
From where is Jaikal operating his plan now?
The man informs them that Jaikal had constructed a secret den in the forest and was executing the entire plan from there. The man also blurts out all other important information about Jaikal. Mehul then wears the man's clothes.
I am going to Jaikal's den, and I will return with his blood.
Let me tag along with you, sir.
No, it is very dangerous. Wait here and protect the others.
After a lot of convincing from Alia and Dr. Sanjana, Mehul finally agrees for Alia to accompany him. He then briefs the Mehul army and commands them to take utmost care of the scientist and Dr. Sanjana. Mehul and Alia finally reach the outskirts of the city, where Jaikal had constructed his lab.
Interesting. Very, very interesting. It is such a deserted area. Nothing is at sight till a distance. We will have to look around carefully.
They move ahead further and Mehul grew suspicious. Look at the trees in front, all of them seem to have been arranged in a single line. Most importantly, the area is spick and span and there is no grass or bushes near the trees. How could this be possible? How could an area in a dense forest be so clean? Who would come here to mend the ground?
Alia, wait here. I will send you a signal through my watch, in case of danger.
Alia climbs up a tree and Mehul walks towards the lab. He finds two members of the Jaikal army near the trees. Since he was wearing Jaikal army merchandise too, they take him inside the lab. In the lab, Jaikal and his two scientists were preparing a red poisonous gas.
Sir, the gas is ready. Whoever comes in contact with it will die instantly.
This means Jaikal plans on killing the entire city.
The sleeping gas was not enough. I need to wipe out the entire population of the city. They don't know what's coming for them.
Soon, Jaikal summons his entire army.
The moment this gas comes in contact with the citizens of the city, they will sleep forever.
Just then, he notices Mehul. No one from the Jaikal army had a watch on, except Mehul.
Who are you? Why are you wearing a watch?
Sir, I am a member of Jaikal Army Batch 20. Mehul killed my brother. To take revenge, I've joined the army.
Good, good.
Jaikal then leaves for his room and his army gets back to work. Soon, nightfall comes and Mehul had been waiting for it patiently. He sneakily moves towards Jaikal's room. The room was locked with high-tech security systems, but Mehul used his wit to get through them all. He opens the door to his room and proceeds inside. He pulls out a handkerchief from his pocket. It had chloroform in it. He puts it on Jaikal's nose and he faints instantly. He then extracts 100 milliliters of blood from his body. He then uses his watch to send a voice message to Alia.
Alia, I have obtained Jaikal's blood. Call scientist Bulbulaya and ask him to keep the gas launcher ready.
She immediately calls Bulbulaya from the branch of the tree and gets him up to speed.
I can't kill him right now. We might need his blood in the future.
As soon as Mehul comes out of Jaikal's room, one of the members of the Jaikal army sees him. He starts firing on Mehul. Mehul extracts his gun too and kills him on the spot. But hearing the commotion, other members of the army come to the spot. Mehul hides behind a cooler placed nearby and starts firing on them.
I can't fend them off alone.
He notices that the cooler had wheels. He immediately takes its support and slides it towards the exit. The cooler picks up speed and Mehul manages to escape from there. Members of the Jaikal army follow him but fail to catch him. He finally reaches outside the den, but he is greeted by 4 more members of the Jaikal army. He checks his revolver and notices that it has only 1 bullet left. Just then, his eyes fall upon the jar of the red poisonous gas. Without wasting a second, he fires his last bullet on that jar and runs away. Members of the Jaikal army still kept firing and a bullet scraped Mehul's arm, but he manages to come out in the forest, while Jaikal's lab is full of the red gas, killing everyone. He meets Alia outside with Jaikal's blood.
Sir, what happened to you?
Nothing. It's just a little scrape. We need to reach Dr. Sanjana immediately.
They reach her lab instantly. Due to Alia's call, Bulbulea scientist had already readied the gas launcher. Dr. Sanjana and the scientist use Jaikal blood and prepare the antidote's gas form within an hour. Soon, Mehul, Alia and everyone else, along with the Mehul army, reach the tallest building in the city. The scientist fits the antidote inside the gas launcher and presses a red button. Soon, through a huge explosion, a blue gas is spread throughout the city. Slowly but surely, all citizens of the city wake up from their deep sleep. Finally, Mehul and his team was able to save the entire city. Detective Mehul rocks, but did Jaikal survive the red gas explosion at his lab? Let's find out in the next episodes. Thank you.